attempt to wound discharging a firearm was the first thing that I was ever arrested for. It was down in a place called Bridport in Devon, and I was on a holiday with some friends. I was only 16, 17 at the time, and we decided to go camping. And I used to do a lot of shooting, so I had a collection of air guns, and thought in my wisdom at the time as a teenager that it would be a good idea to take those air weapons camping, and we could go shooting rabbits and birds and stuff as I used to do when I was a teenager. Now, I'm not proud of any of that. I just want to add that into there. I was smoking a lot of weed at the time, drinking a lot of alcohol, and just kind of being a bit of a pain to society. So a few of us lads anyway, we went down to Devon. We pitched up a tent in the middle of the New Forest somewhere, I think it was, or in the middle of a field somewhere. We got moved on a few times, got the ump. You know, why are they picking on us? Well, because we're not supposed to camp there, really. After a few days down there, everything was going, I would say well, but you know, we were just drinking and smoking weed in a different environment to what we normally would. Anyway, a couple of us went out driving around. We decided to go and try and shoot some seagulls, and not actually finding any seagulls, we drove past a little shop that had some rubber dinghies hanging up outside it. So I told the driver, I said, stop the car, I'm going to shoot one of those dinghies. You know, we were getting a bit bored, and I don't know whether it was bravado or I was showing off. Decided to put my gun out the window and shoot one of the rubber dinghies that was hanging up in the shop, much to my friend's amusement. And we drove off. Didn't think anything else about it until a few hours later the police started following us. Then another police car started following us. Then we got blocked off at the end of the road, pulled over, literally pulled out of the car by armed police, hands on top of the car, legs spread. The whole car was searched, and obviously they found my guns in the boot of the car. Now, I started panicking at this point, so I thought, what have they caught us for? I mean, I was that oblivious to what I'd actually done wrong. I was thinking, what's going on? You know, there's weed in my tobacco pouch. Are we going to get in trouble? My parents are going to find out that I've been smoking weed. That was my main concern. I wasn't worried about the shooting incident, when really that should have been my main concern. You know, I can see now that was a pretty serious offence. It came to light in the police station, so we were all taken to the local police station and questioned. Now, I'd never been arrested before, as I say, so it was all new to me. So I figured I'd give them, you know, what they're going to find anyway. Have you got any drugs on you? Yeah, there's weed in my tobacco pouch. And then sort of tried to blag the rest until they mentioned that there was a gentleman walking past the shop at the time. Now, I had seen him, but I thought he was well out of reach of anything. And it turned out he was ex-army, and he heard the pellet travel through, because they make like a zzz noise. He heard the pellet travel past and towards the shop, thought that we were shooting at him, and I believe dived for cover. And he reported it to the police, said that we were out shooting and trying to shoot people. Now, as I say, that charge was intent to wound discharging a firearm. They were air rifles, but I used to tamper with my air rifles, and you could polish them up and tweak them up, put a little bit of oil in fact, I'm not going to say what you can do to tweak them up, but you can tweak the power up on them until they become a firearm, and they become incredibly, I mean, air weapons are incredibly dangerous anyway. They actually showed me in the interview a picture of a pellet tracking through, it went through a human eye and tracked into the brain just from an air gun, and it went halfway through the person's brain. Obviously it killed them. Air weapons are very dangerous, and they're not to be mistreated, and I had to learn that the very hard way. You know, I offered to have all my guns destroyed. Now, my hobby was shooting at the time. I was a member of a local rifle club. I was basically disgraced out of there. I was a really good shooter. It was a good hobby for me when I was a youngster. I got into it when I was into the club when I was 12, 13 or so, with an uncle and a cousin. And the guilt that I felt at the time through letting the family down, letting them down, you know, because I wasn't allowed to the gun club anymore, where we shot actual rimfire rifles under strict supervision, obviously, and within the law. But that was that hobby of mine, and I was good. I was pretty good. That was my hobby done. And at the time, all I'd done was blame the police. Why are they picking on us? Why have they taken my guns? You know, why am I getting in trouble for this? And I was lucky that all they really did do was take my guns. When we went back down to court, I was banned from Bridport for life. So I've never been back there since. I don't know if that still stands, but I'm still alive, so I assume it does. And had all my air weapons confiscated. And I think it was a long time ago now. I think I got a suspended sentence for it. And that was my first proper brush with the law. You know, the other people that we were with, they'd pitched up at a campsite where we were staying, and somehow the police had obviously tracked us back to that campsite, and they raided the campsite looking for drugs and looking for guns. So while we were being pulled over at the side of the road and basically searched with our hands on the car, etc., and our feet apart like you see on the telly, they were searching the campsite, and my friend and his girlfriend were there, and we'd promised his girlfriend's parents that we'd look after her. She was only 17, you know, like I say, we was only 16, 17 as well. Promised that we'd look after her, no trouble would happen. And they all got arrested as well. And her parents then came down, had to travel like an hour and a half to 2 hours to come and pick her up from the police station at 11, 12 o'clock at night. The knock-on effect from me committing that crime spread through my parents, my uncles, cousins, brothers, my friends, obviously all my friends' families as well, my friends' girlfriends' family. You know, the shame that I felt at the time, which kind of led me, and I'm not saying this for you to feel sorry for me, it led me into a bit of a depression as I look back. You know, maybe I am a naughty person or a bad man. Maybe I shouldn't have good things around me. And I started smoking a lot more weed. I started drinking a lot more. I'd had thousands of pounds worth of air guns taken away, because they all had scopes on them and sound moderators that you can buy for air guns these days. And you know, I lost all of that, and that was probably the first inkling that I should have had that I was an addict, that I done stupid things when I was under the influence of drink and drugs, that I couldn't control myself to the point of sensible thinking when I've taken a substance into my body. But looking back, I can see that, but at the time I couldn't. So now I can see those signs in other people, and have to kind of tiptoe around how to deal with those people in the hope that they won't go down the same road that I ended up going down. I mean, luckily I'm in recovery now for well over 16 months, and I'm away from all the crime, all the people that I used to hang around with. And the point of me doing these videos on YouTube, and the point of me telling my story, is that hopefully it will steer someone away from the life that I once lived. It will steer someone away from making the bad decisions that I've made. Thank you for watching my video, guys. I'll upload next week. I'll upload a video of my first time in prison. I'm waiting to film it outside the prison in Reading here, so I've got permission to do that next week. So that's going to be a great video. That's going to talk about the whole time that I was inside. I went straight to a Category A prison, as it was a local holding facility, and then when the Tottenham riots happened in London, I got moved up to HMP Stocking in Leicestershire. Now, a Londoner in a northern jail was an interesting place to be. So keep your eyes out for that video. Please do comment on here with any questions, queries, thoughts that you may have about the video. Please do like, and please do subscribe to my channel, guys. Let's get the message out there that we can recover from a life of crime, we can recover from addiction, and we can change ourselves for the better and to become better people. Thank you for watching.